Well, good evening. This is Robert Wilson with Cowboy Wisdom Hypnoacuity and the Pure Liberation Podcast. Tonight is Dare of My Imagination. I'm sovereign, free-flowing energy of my daring of my imagination, floating on my liminal airwaves of listening for the clarity of my dreams, desired lifestyle, and moneyed up accomplished outcomes, comprehending the wisdom and insight, understanding the simplicity of my daily encounters, events, and experiences. That's what imagination is. It's the free flowing energy within us. But we get so caught up in thinking and knowing and trying to see where we're going in life, we forget the simplicity of the imagination. See, the imagination is natural, it's intuitive, it's from within us. Everything we get from the outside world, we have to try to adhere to or do something with. And we never ever get to the peace within us. But my free flowing dare of my imagination opens up my freedom of energy to flow through life. And that's what we never ever get to, is the free flowing energy of ourselves. And something I awakened to this week, I now understand chaos challenges are when I'm blocking the flow of energy within me. And energy is what everything is. We're all energy. We're nitrogen, oxygen, hydrogen, and carbon. That's what everything in the world is made of in its own way. And something else I really opened up to, egotistical arrogance, know-it-all ignorance, is thinking, knowing, memory, trying to live above everybody else in the world. Education just means you went to school and learned from somebody else. And it's getting you somewhere, but it gets you really nowhere. Because the wisdom of the world is in the people. Wisdom is never in a book, especially a punctuated book. And see, you can't think, know, learn, and listen and experience wisdom at the same time. That's the dare of the imagination, is to listen and witness your daily life, letting go of everything you think and know. The world is as far as think, know, and college knowledge can take us, because that's the way it is. If you look down on the world, you're going to see a box. So I rocketed out of that box, opening my eyes of wise to play on my fields of prosperity, because it's a field of foresight, invigorating, enterprising lure dawns today's precious stuff. And really, as I understand, the world is in life is words, images, and wisdom of my daily extravaganza, celebrating my pioneering spirit, gallivanting sovereignty, and love and luminary love, intuition, innovation, inventor, fashion designer, stylish savvy, my rebellious troublemaker trail boss that woke me with a cowpoke of prowess, as I am sovereign, flowing, visionary energy, awakened, aware of the dare of my imagination and all my intrinsic gifts. That is where we really become detached from things, is when we have to trust our gifts, and nobody can tell us. There's no book for it, and there's nothing else. Your intuition and innovation is all you. And you do encompass everything you desire to experience. You have the wisdom, intuition within you. But we've been taught to look outside ourselves for everything rather than look inside ourselves for everything. But it's easier to blame the outside world and look to the outside world for advice and everything, because that way I never have to blame myself when it doesn't work. I can say, well, they told me and it didn't work. This world has an excusopedia of 1,000,000 pages, and we all use them. I use them, but I'm really awakened and aware of the dare of my imagination to stop using my excusopedia. And it's out there. And you listen to the media, that's all you hear is excuses. This guy did this, this guy did this. And the biggest thing is nobody's ever taken responsibility. I did this. And that's the bliss of life. I did this. I'm responsible for the good. I'm accountable for the unsavory I did. And when I'm accountable, I can discharge it and release it. But when I listen to my intrinsic imagination, intuition, innovation, inventor's lure, I expand through life with the greatest of ease. You know, everything we desire in life is there for us. We got to dissolve and disconnect from saying, oh, I can't do that. Look at that. I did this in the past. Well, the past is back there. That's why your disposal system's in the behind you, and your vision is in front of you, and your listening is 360 degrees. 360 degrees of listening lights up internal savvy today, expanding nirvana. It's really about coming down to trusting your abilities. And are you gonna and be willing to screw up because you're gonna? And all a screw up is an awakening. See, we're so perfection programmed, we're so afraid that something may go awry that we stop. I have. And so what? Whatever happened yesterday is so what? Just say, flip 'em a jig, be gone. Whatchamacallem, be gone. F-O-F, F that, let's go. You can ride and rope when you're riding a rope horse. But when you're riding a Shetland, you just go for a leisurely ride. But when you're riding a stick pony, you're in the muck of yesterday. So today's the day we shuck the muck of yesterday's suck, opening up our innovative talents to move forward. The more you disconnect from trying to live your socialized way and open up your politically incorrect cowboy up talents, you're going to ride and rope to be the all-around cowboy of your life, or the all-around person. Something I've really expanded into is the education of this world has a barrier. It never thinks anybody outside of an educated person can show them. Here's the deal. Everybody in the world is your teacher or has wisdom for you. Just think if everybody attained 8.5 billion nuggets of wisdom every day. Everybody's had a different type of an experience, and their experiences has unique wisdom for me to expand. So if I listen without judgment and comparison, I light my light of life to take flight. My foresight, love, internal gumption, hellraiser's tenacity to rise everybody above the socialized ways of life. We get them out of followerocracy, sheepocracy, herdocracy, and turdocracy, and we move them forward. We have been so taught to stay inside the lines of society, we're afraid to get out of that. And there's very few people that busted out of the box of society. And you can't tell somebody what's wrong with them and say you're outside of the box. And I like listening to these people that say badass in business, doing this, doing that, until you've experienced an unsavory situation. You've never really got to test your inner fortitude. And some people, I'm glad for them, because when you get your inner fortitude tested, that's going to see whether you're riding, roping, or you're sitting on the bench getting a stench of yesterday's drivel on you. Dare of my imagination strolls me through life with the greatest of ease, opening my eyes of wise to play on my fields of prosperity. And the dare of the imagination. How do you appreciate the dare of your imagination? See, life is trial and dare. And everything you try to do perfect is going to hit with the trial and dare. And, I put these out. There's going to be stutters in them. There's going to be missed spots. I put things out the way I do it because that is me, and that is my imperfection instigating my prowess to wow the world. It's okay to be imperfect. It's okay to screw up and still move forward. Left, right, left, right. That's the way we move in life. Left, bright, left, bright, left, bright. We're in the bright of light when we open up to our own trend-setting talents. And, all the institutionalized education, college knowledge, corporate control, and media mediocrity is just keeping people's minds binded in what happened yesterday. Everything we learned in the school system was from yesterday. So we've been taught to live from yesterday. So that's why we shuck the muck of yesterday's suck to open up our eyes of wise to waltz today in the now. And that's something I've really expanded into. And I stopped using words like redo this. I really pay attention to the words I say because I don't want to get back into events in my past that caused me unsavory and that embedded unsavory memories, because they are very active and they're always waiting for something, because the mind is always looking for something to do, usually looking for something to blame or something like this, rather than opening up to listen, to understand. People are going to innovate their own challenges and chaos and stuff to expand of their dreams. You can never walk through life with what happened yesterday. Yesterday is a path. Today is a boulevard to boldly open unbelievable life events for you to expand through life. And trauma and drama and all that stuff from the past, that is just a frozen in time representation you use to get out of something or get attention or something in the past. But we adhered to it. That's the thing. We adhered to it, and it became a modus operandi to get attention or stay the same. Whatever you do to get attention of others, or whatever story you tell others that has your trauma and drama in it, and it can open up to everything. Well, anyway, I found somebody that didn't like me, but that's okay. That's his opinion. He's welcome to it. But it's really about opening up to the now, and that's all there is. And that's the way I expanded my life. It's about really opening yourself to your dreams and the dare of your imagination. As you awaken to your talents, and your talents are unique to you, your imagination, innovation, intuition, everything is unique to you. And everybody, you're open to expanding when you listen for the clarity of your own dreams and your own life. That's why we're called individuals. And as I open up to my talents and my wisdom, you rise above people in the world that are stuck in yesterday. And that is the thing. Stop being stuck in yesterday. And the dare of your imaginations opens your internal magic to open yourself. And everything in the world is inside you, you desire. The outside world is actually innocent, because them are just events with people. Becomes a frozen in time representation in your subconscious mind that binds you in yesterday. But when you open up to your own talents, you ballet out of it. And, the thing about it is, people that live in fear ridicule those. And I'm going to just say, I got some stuff in the chat right now. One thing about it, if somebody's ridiculing you and criticizing you, that's their jealous and their fear is showing. Because this is about expansion and getting away from people that stay stuck in the muck of themselves. And that's the way it is. But you got to be open into the world to expand out of the yesterday. And this world is still stuck subconsciously in business and in person all the way back to how far, because your parents you got their subconscious mind from womb to 3, and they got it from their parents, and it goes all the way back. And I'm going to have to disagree. A guy says, use your past experience for positive change. Change is a pain. Understand to expand is grand. And see, there's a way out of the past when you start expanding out of the past right in front of you. The dare of your imagination will show you a better way. You know, I love to be disagreed with. Everybody, this is an individual path. But the more educated you are and the more stuck you stay in education, the more stuck you stay in the past. That's just the way it is. And I stopped reading self-improvement, punctuated self-improvement, personal growth and self-improvement and self-help books, because they're punctuated and your subconscious mind goes to a representation. You try to learn what the author wants, but the author has their viewpoints, opinions, belief, and what they think the world is. And that may not be your path forward. This is about opening pathways of enlightenment and trails of triumph when you follow your dreams. And that is where you really open up to expand. And that is a key word. Take the word change out of your life, use the word expand, and appreciate the dare of your imagination to move forward and away from yesterday to live the now, because that's the dare of your imagination. There isn't a book, anybody in the world understands your imagination except you. Your imagination, intuition, and everything else is moving you forward. As you move yourself forward, you get to expand out of everything, because you think you know your way all the way to yesterday. And everything you learned is from what somebody else wanted you to know. There's an undercurrent of control in this world, and that's when you got to figure out what the manipulation is. And imagination is anything you desire to experience that isn't in the present moment. You're stuck in yesterday, you experience today. Stop healing the past, liberate the now to naturally open your wisdom. And everything occurs, the past, present, and future is right here in front of you. And that really opens you up to a better way of life, to experience the dream. It isn't what you know, it isn't what the past was, it's what wisdom, innovation, and talent are you willing to use to expand through your present moment experiences. And we was never taught history to learn. We was taught history to control us. And that is the thing. Everything you learned in history is a subconscious representation today. So when you start opening up to communicate yourself from yourself, and you move forward. And that is where you expand through life. And I am Robert A. Wilson with Cowboy Wisdom, Hypno Acuity. And it's just grassroots liberation. You liberate yourself from yourself, your viewpoints, opinions, and beliefs, and you let life stop being a thief of your dreams. My website is mycowboywisdom.com, and my email is robert@mycowboywisdom.com. And I want to thank everybody for being here. We'll be here next Thursday night with the Pure Liberation Podcast. And thank you, and good night.